I just want to welcome everybody to the safest place in the city of Fall River today. We'll get through this together. This is really an introductory press conference for our new chief of police. She's going to be filling the shoes of Paul Garvin, who's going out on leave. I want to compliment Paul for the effort he put in while he was with the city. And going forward, we hope that we can build on that and build a stronger police department for the residents in our city. With that being said, I've known Kelly Furtado, or Captain Kelly Furtado, for a long, long time. We worked together at Durfee High School. She was an SRO along with Mike Pereira when I was there, and we were in each other's offices all the time. I've seen how she interacts with the public. I've seen how she interacts with teenagers, and I've seen how she interacts with staff. And in her role now as a captain in the Fall River Police Department, she stepped up and gained the confidence of her fellow officers and our community. With that being said, I know she has a few remarks she wants to make, and we're going to take a few questions afterward. But I do want everyone to introduce the first female police chief in the history of the city of Fall River, Captain Kelly Furtado.
Of course, the first thing that happens is all these mics fall down.
I got it.
You got it? All right, Faith is being assigned. My first assignment is Faith is going to hold all those mics so they don't keep falling. Thank you, Mayor Coogan. Good afternoon. Being chosen as interim chief of police for the Fall River is a profound honor, especially as the daughter, wife, and mother of a Fall River police officer. This moment fills me and my family with deep pride. My dad taught my sisters and me the importance of faith, patriotism, and the true meaning of service. For him, being a police officer wasn't about the title, but about helping others, and that's what he instilled in us. Becoming the first female chief in Fall River's history is a responsibility I carry with pride, not just for myself, but for every woman in law enforcement and every young girl with big dreams. I'm grateful to the officers, mentors, community leaders who have supported me along the way. This is an achievement that we all share. Fall River has a rich history, and I am privileged to continue serving this community. My vision is to make community policing the heart of our approach, where every resident feels connected to us, knowing we are their partners in building a safer, more inclusive city. Inside the department, I want to foster collaboration and teamwork, something that's been missing in recent years. Thank you, Linda.
I like teamwork.
Thank you. Policing thrives on unity and by recognizing each person's strengths and working together. We can achieve great things. My commitment is to create a department where every member feels empowered and valued. I know challenges lie ahead, but I believe that by working together with our department, community partners, and the people of Fall River, we can face the challenges head on. This is a new chapter of Fall River, and I am excited to write it alongside the community I love, the department I love, and the officers that I am so very proud to lead. Thank you.
So we do have a big crowd here today, and if anybody has any questions, just raise your hand and we'll call on you. Dan Medeiros, the Herald News.
So, this being sort of an interim position for now, would you consider this a test for the more permanent role in the future?
Is that question for me or the mayor?
It's actually more for Mayor.
Obviously, she's got a 6-month running start. We'll see how she does. I have tremendous confidence in her, but we're going to, we want to see how she progresses as the chief. And I think she's going to do a great job, and we're not decided yet on which way we're going to go forward at the end. But we have plenty of time for that question later, Dan.
Mayor,
Keith?
what went into your decision in selecting?
Well, we had the fortune of talking to a couple of very confident district chiefs. We talked to another captain. We kicked around ideas with a number of the people up here behind us talking to us. And at this time, we thought that would be the best fit for going forward in the police department right now. With that being said, as I just spoke with Dan, nothing closes out anything. I know at this time Kelly has a ton of good ideas that she wants to implement, along with the help of the guys and the girls that are all behind us that are going to try to move this department forward. And let's see how she does. But we did do some extensive interviews, myself, Nick, and Seth. We asked questions, we talked to people, and we got the flavor of what we think would be best at this time.
Can you talk about the new direction that the previous chief, sorry, I'm going to say it wrong, Galvin, it seems that it was a mutual agreement that it was time to go in a new direction. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I don't know, do you want to
No,
talk?
you're
Okay.
good.
Thank you, Kelly. No, at the time, the former Chief Garvin came forward and offered to take a leave of absence and step back from it at this time. He thought he put his feelings secondary to the city, and when he made that offer, it also gave us the ample opportunity with what had been going on in the department to make a fresh start, and that's where we are right now. It was really a mutual agreement. Paul Garvin's been a friend of mine for a long time. I know he's going to do a good job in whatever role he ends up in, including back in the city. So let's let it play out and see how this goes right now. Thank you.
I do have another question for you.
Sure.
It's off topic, but we would like to get it. The homeless ordinance fines, can you talk about that at all?
We'll talk at the end on the homeless ordinance fine. I'll come over and see you. Thanks.
Captain, I know there's been a lot of frustrations in the past when it comes to leadership, so what are you looking to do differently when you start?
My main focus is to reorganize the department. These are all the people I've worked with, and they know I've said this for at least 10 years. This place is still running like 1968 when my father was hired. It's still the same way. So we need to reinvigorate, we need to modernize, we need to do some reorganizing to maximize our manpower issue.
And do you think, I know the mayor mentioned that it's kind of like a test run right now. Do you think you can prove that you will be able to be chief?
He's already laughing. 100%. And to be honest, I don't think anybody in here right now will let me fail, because they'll be part of my success. I only can be successful if they're successful, and that's what's important to me right now.
Question for the mayor.
Yeah, Jess.
Let's talk a little bit about your challenges that your administration has faced since you've taken over here. Whether it's interim chief Furtado or a different chief, this would be the first chief that you will have since you've taken office. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges that you have faced with the Fall River Police Department and its leadership?
Well, it's really, that's one part of it. But when we were talking the other day about this, you have to look at where we've come from in the city of Fall River. I'm on my 3rd fire chief. I'm on my 3rd superintendent of schools. And as I said the other day, these are all big, high-stress, important decisions to the city of Fall River, and they're turning over. What's going on nationwide, these jobs are not as popular as they once were, and the stress that goes along with them, whether it's new reporting requirements from Post, whether it's recruitment, whether it's retention, whether it's the community, these are very, very stressful jobs across the board, and we ask for special people to step up and do it. Has it been a challenge? Absolutely. Is it a challenge we're willing to take on in the city of Fall River? Absolutely, and I think I'm very fortunate to have all these people behind me today saying that they're willing to tackle this at the same time. So I think we're going to be fine, but this is not just the police department. As I said, I've been getting hit on all of the major departments in the city, so we have to work our way through it.
Just to follow up on that, there was a vote of no confidence by the unions of the police department in Chief Garvin. How confident are you that your selection is going to help ease the minds of your officers who have obviously expressed displeasure in the leadership that they've had?
Well, she's going to have to, she's going to stand with those people down there as a team. And I'm sure, because I know her vast experience, she's been everything from a dispatcher down at that station. So she knows how it works. She knows who's going to help her the most and where she can look for new people to give her fresh ideas. I'm sure she'll be fine, and we're not talking about those votes at this time. We're talking about things in the past. But I do appreciate your questions, Jess. Ben Burke, NPR.
There's been 5 chiefs who have worked under, you're the 5th chief that's going to be working under Mayor Coogan in about 5 years. Why has there been so much turnover at the top of the police department? And what do you think the department needs to have more stability and consistency at the top?
Well, it's like the mayor said, it's a stressful position. People have left for many different reasons, some of them just personal. I think that to move the department forward, that'll be different, is that we really have to work on teamwork and making people feel important and wanting to be here. And as far as like chiefs leaving, when I first came on, I was hired in it was January 4th, 1988. We had a little time there that we went through a lot of chiefs too. So I don't know if it's just like the turnover where people are at the end of their careers and they're just looking to do something short term. I'm not quite sure why there was such a turnover, to be honest. You know. So,
Anything further? Dan?
So the units that you've commanded as special operations, one might argue they have sort of like almost a community-focused angle.
yes, absolutely.
How would that translate to your leading the entire department, the entire police force? And do you think that benefits at all in the way that you'll approach the chief's job?
So my whole career, everything that I've done has always been part of a community policing mindset. So to bring that department-wide, that will be easy for me. It's always been easy for me. My brain goes like a mile a minute, so I always have like, you know what we can do? You know what we can do? You know, that goes at home too. I'm always telling my husband, you know what we can do? He's like, I'm sick of hearing about it. But it's always been, community policing has always been unit-focused, you know, and I really think it's so important for officers to be able to experience everything and to experience the community, where right now it's just a certain amount of officers that get to experience the good in the community, right? So for me, it's great when people are working and they get to experience the bad and the good of policing, but then you have like the uniform division that just is that mundane call after call after call. So I think it's healthy for the younger officers to start taking on some of that community policing, getting them involved with going to the events, getting them involved in going to neighborhood groups, getting them to buy in to the community policing mindset. And that's twofold. One, it's great for the community. 2, it's great for them. It alleviates a lot of the negativity that comes along with just this job in general, you know? So it's nice to see that, hey, I can go to a community group and be around people that are not just looking to me to solve problems. They're looking, you know, to talk with them, to get to know them. And it's good for the people of the community to talk to officers, because then they become more real. You know, they throughout my career, I was had a couple of kids, and there'd be an Afghan blanket at the front window waiting for me because they heard I had the baby, right? Which my baby's standing here somewhere. He's 32, so he's not so much a baby anymore, which I don't understand because I'm only like still 25. But anyway, so yeah, I am a huge huge fan of community policing and engaging with the community.
Chief, can you just respond to Jess's question about the union's vote on no confidence with the previous chief? Do you feel you have to mend some fences? Because there may be some officers that still supported the current chief.
I don't feel I have to mend any fences. I've been there since I was 18. I'm like part of the woodwork. So, no, I don't feel like I need to do that at all.
Mayor, we talked a little bit about the switches in leadership over the years. You know, what would be your message to the community who's seeing all these changes and probably wondering what's going on?
I think changes in leadership at the top many times don't affect the community. All these guys are still driving a car, pulling a shift, responding to calls. That's not diminished one iota. So that work continues, and it's going to continue the rest of the day, and it's going to continue on for as long as Kelly is the chief. The thing going forward that you have to remember is we're not going to be in a position where changing a chief affects an entire department. It will from her leadership perspective, but nobody's going to quit working. No one's going to give up on the residents of the city, and we're going to carry this forward till we live in a safer, cleaner, healthier community for everybody. And that's the message. The chiefs are going to come and go. Mayors are going to come and go, but it's the continuity that breeds itself into the city, which keeps it functioning at a high level, which is what we want.
If we could, just one more. Speaking of the community and messages, I noticed all your female police officers are up front. We have 2 female city councilors over here, and we have our first chief, or interim chief, that's a female. What kind of message is this sending to the community about the leadership that females are taking in Fall River right now?
From my perspective, we promote the best. We promote the best, we hire the best. I know many of these female police officers were students of mine at Durfee, so I know the quality and the character they have, and I know what an asset they are to our department. And as I said, there's not one job in that department that Chief Furtado has not had, so she knows how it works and she knows how things should go, and that's why she's standing here today. It's not really because she's a woman, although it is a historic moment for the city, and I'm glad to be part of it, but I think she'll do a good job if her name was Jack Furtado.
I have another question for the mayor. I'm wondering if you could describe what it was like working with Ms. Furtado in the schools and what she was like as a school resource officer.
I drove him crazy.
The best to say, all right, I'm going to do this because we're on regular TV too. Working with Kelly was a ball of fire. Okay, she cared about the kids, and she understood how a school should flow. There's a flow to a school, and that's what people have to understand. When you're in there all the time, there's a flow to the school, and she understood the flow to the school. What kids went where, who ate lunch where, who interacted with who. And as you walk around the halls, the more you're there, the more you know how things are going to settle into a routine for the staff, for the students, and Kelly got it. She knew how this should work. I mean, at night they were running basketball camps for the kids there on their own time. So these were the kind of people that I looked for to depend on. I mean, I can honestly tell you, when I was there, we were talking about this yesterday, sometimes you'd have 2 girls that were fighting. And when Kelly would come, if I had to help break up the fight and I'd get him back to my office, I'd let her mediate the fight. I'd leave, because I knew she knew what she was doing. She knew how to calm people down. She knew how to get people back on track. And I had confidence in her, and I have confidence in her now. But I was with her every day. I mean, pretty much, if you want to say what it was like working with me, don't do that, because it'll be your last day here.
We had the same mindset with the community policing mindset. I know that that's like a buzzword, but it really truly is. But we were doing that before community policing came out. We wanted to make the schools safer before lockdown drills came out. We worked together to put in place emergency response teams of medical teams to somebody was sick to respond. We did open gyms at night so that we could have a place for kids to go. And it was all informal stuff. We'd have 300 kids at Derby High School twice, 2-3 times a week. And it would just be me and my partner, Mike Pereira. And then Mr. Coogan, Mayor Coogan, would come and check in on us, and he facilitated a lot of the ability for us to hold those events. We started the Teen Police Academy in 2004, which is still going today. We just tried to get the kids engaged, and he was our biggest supporter at the school. But we did drive him a little crazy sometimes, but it was good. It was probably one of the most profound times of my career, was working at the school. And that still, it just pays back still today when you run into a kid that's like, hey, you helped me out, or hey, you know what, you really saved my life. I really took to heart those words you said to me. So it was good. It was good working there. It was fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anything further, guys? Okay. Well, thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I appreciate it, and we'll slide our way back to work. Thanks.
Thank you.